Good morning, everyone. We are live for our Wednesday wake up morning show with the Teach Better team, where we are live every single Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn to get you ready for your Wednesday, because Wednesday is typically the worst day. So we are really excited to share some tips, tricks about education. We also have a lot of non-education things we have to talk about, like Teach Better team stuff. So there's just a lot going on. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. We are live for our Wednesday wake up. Katie Miglin is in the house. Katie, how are you?
I'm wonderful. It is so great to be back on a Wednesday wake up. It has been far too long, right, Hughar?
It has been a long time since you've been on, and yet I feel like you probably enjoyed watching this from the comfort of your bed.
Yeah, this morning when I was getting ready, I was like, did I miss this? Did I really? I don't know. Verdict's still out. We'll see.
You did. You did.
I did. Okay.
Yeah. Friends, for those of you who are new to our Wednesday wake up, I know we have new ambassadors that recently joined our Teach Better family. We have new people that have just discovered the Teach Better family. So welcome. This show is designed for us to help you persevere through your week. So this is a great spot to not only tune in every single Wednesday, you can set a little calendar reminder or set up a notification. I really like when you go subscribe to YouTube and then YouTube tells you when we're live. So that's kind of a nice setup. But we honestly have a mixture of trying to give you a little challenge throughout the week that you can focus on, and also just update you on Teach Better gossip. So I feel like that's a good summary of the show. What do you think?
100%. Yeah, it's like beneficial because you get some, education stuff, but then it's also some shenanigans, and that's okay.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of shenanigans for you. Good morning to everyone in the comments. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I know, slowly but surely. Katie, we have a lot to discuss here at the beginning of the show, which is typically non-education related. Right. I really need like an agenda, like a list of things to talk to you about, but I am going to just cross my fingers that I remember them. Are you mentally ready for these conversations?
I am a little nervous because you yesterday said, "Oh, just wait for the morning." And when anyone says that, what do you do with that information?
You get excited. You get excited.
I'm excited. I've got a big cup of coffee because you never know what Ray Heward's going to bring at 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes,
let's talk coffee really quick.
Oh, yeah. She's very upset about this coffee. I don't know what's going on.
Friends, the alarm goes off. I snooze, probably snooze too long, but then I get up and I'm ready for the day this morning.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I go make coffee. No big deal. Normal morning.
Yeah.
And I believe, I've said this numerous times on the show, I believe that you have like one major hiccup every single day. And sometimes on the show, I'm like, see, friends, we did it for you. Like, we took away, you don't have any like major hurdles. You're going to have to problem solve today. I think you only need one big one. And sometimes it's here on the show. Nope. I took care of it for all of you already this morning because Katie Miglin texted me. Doesn't matter what she texted me. It was a GIF. It said good morning, but that's irrelevant to the story. And as she texted me, I looked to like see who was messaging me on my phone, and my coffee spilled down my wall in my hallway, all the way down from my height of where I was holding the coffee to the floor, all the way down.
I just don't understand why. I would push you.
I was juggling a lot of things in my hands. I was getting ready for the show. And then like my phone was upside down and I was holding like my coffee cup. So I was like trying to flip it over to see why my phone was like dinging. And it just like toppled everywhere. It was terrible.
Okay, for those of you who maybe don't know, we simply text each other right before the show just to make sure we're both awake. That's it. That's all that text was.
Nope.
And she sat down and I made a comment because my coffee snafu was that I accidentally set my like brew for PM. So I'm going to get a nice pot of coffee at about 5:30 p.m. tonight. So I'm trying to tell her how that was annoying because I had to make coffee this morning. And she's like, don't tell me about it. You're the reason I have an issue. And I'm like, I'm not even at your house. So
it's literally down my wall. I didn't have time to clean it. Do you know the coffee stain that will exist in my house after this show? It will be interesting. Everyone will come over to my house and be like, Ray, it's so nice to see you. Why is there an enormous stain on your wall? And I'm going to be like, Katie McLean.
yeah, I hope you like change the story to say like I pushed you or something because you checking a text I sent is not my fault.
It's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of
I just want to know in the comments, is this my fault or not?
Okay, fair. We will do a poll and the Teach Better family will speak. And their decision is the final call. It is by far for sure your fault, but we'll just pretend and let everybody get a vote.
Okay, well, let the audience make the decision.
They're very active in the comments right now on
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. So I feel like this is a good thing. Wait, hold on. Julie, do not cop out. She says I'm not taking sides here. Nope.
Time out.
Oh.
Adam wins.
No. Because your husband's also in here and he said always Katie's fault.
What? Get out of here.
Yes. I say for sure we're going to wait for all the votes to come in. Katie, on to story number 2.
Okay.
So last night I made an ambassador exclusive PD, which for those of you who aren't ambassadors, I hope you apply next year. It's an exclusive group. It's really small. So actually, if you did apply, make sure you reapply in case not everybody can get in the first go. But there's exclusive professional development every single month. So last night was one of them with Don Harris, which was amazing.
Yep.
And before it started, you weren't there because you showed up late. And here is the would you rather that everybody agreed I needed to ask you live on the show.
I love would you rather. You know I love this.
I know, but I feel as though you'll struggle with this one. So if anybody needs a bell ringer this morning, here's a would you rather for your kids. Would you rather walk into a gas station bathroom barefoot or lick the bottom of your shoe?
Of my own shoe.
It is of your own shoe. But we're not getting specific. This is the big debate. You don't get to pick the shoe. Let's assume I get to pick the shoe. Because if knowing you have a new pair of shoes like sitting
100%.
right next to you.
That's 100% what I was thinking of.
No, it's that I get to pick the shoe. Let's just go with that because we were trying to get rid of like all the stuff.
Okay, I think that people are going to judge me. That's fine. I think I'm going to pick this shoe. I would rather lick my shoe.
What?
Okay, here's why this is fresh. I literally was at a gas station bathroom this weekend and I couldn't even stand with my feet covered. Like I was so grossed out. I was like yelling at my kids. I'm like, get in and get out, get in and get out. Like we're not hanging out here. So, but my shoes, like there's a lot of shoes that don't have much of a groove. Like there's not much. So it's not like there's like a lot of stuff on them.
Okay, everybody yesterday disagreed with that one. That's the one I think Megan wanted. Somebody in the group like loved that, or maybe it wasn't Jeff. Jeff was adamant that he wanted to walk barefoot because you could just shower. You just shower.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm literally going to throw up right now at the thought. Because you don't have to like lick the whole thing. It's not like you're like all over.
I'm sorry.
Josh, feel free.
One more time. Could you do that?
Josh, feel free to cut that up and use that for all of our marketing.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Okay, that's another one. What would people do? Are you team barefoot or team licking shoe?
For sure barefoot. I don't want to lick anything, then it gets in my mouth. That's gross. I just want don't cut that segment up. This is the problem. Joshua Stamper has his like new promoted role of Teach Better where he's cutting up all of the video segments and he's doing it like too well where now I think everyone's scared to go live because they know it's documented for eternity.
I just assume that Josh will take some shenanigans from every time we're live and just use it against us because It's kind of, I mean, we set it ourselves up. It's not like he's being malicious.
I'm just saying, if there was ever going to be a Teach Better conference ever again in the future, which if there was, we would totally announce it on our Sunday show. All I'm saying is if that was to happen, I think Josh should have a 2023 blooper reel of the live
100%.
mistakes we've made.
100%. Okay, can we also comment that in the comments, we're going to comment on the comments, there are quite a few people who are like with me. And now Janelle said barefoot for sure.
For sure, because you can just have like a beautiful shower after for like 30 minutes and scrub, and there can be tons of soap and all this stuff.
Okay, but she also agrees that both are disgusting, which is
Of
fair.
course. Of course they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie, love to see you in the comments. She is team barefoot.
Okay, Jamie, it's always good to see you. And she's been super active the whole show. So, Jamie, it's always awesome to have you in the comments.
Okay, I'm fascinated by the number of people who are barefoot.
Because think about it, you can just shower. Like,
I
I have a lot
brush my teeth.
Okay, no, then it's like in your body.
Okay, are there other things you were going to discuss? Because I feel like
Okay. Coffee spilling down my wall and staining my wall because of you.
because I apparently shoved you virtually.
You texted me and it was startling at 5 a.m. And then, the would you rather. I think that was it. That may have been it. That was my morning spiel. That's what I wanted with you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you enjoy it? Was it great?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you'll get me to wake up at 5:15 again to think about really disgusting things, but maybe.
To be fair, the coffee thing was
Right.
me bringing that up. This was the ambassadors demanding I ask you live on the show because we know you're a germaphobe. And let me clarify, you don't have to be a germaphobe to think these are gross. Both of them were gross.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that you can say I'm a germaphobe because they're disgusting regardless. You can be a pretty gross person and still think they're gross. I literally am like, my stomach does a somersault every time I think about walking into a gas station barefoot because you're not just going to the bathroom. You have to get from point A to point B. So do you take your shoes off to walk into the bathroom or do you have to walk through the whole gas station without shoes on?
I think this would be a heated debate between like you and your students if this was your bell ringer today.
100%. You know, Ray, I used to do Would You Rather all the time in my classroom. Great way to get kids involved. And it is really funny to see how passionate some students get, especially students who like don't say anything hardly at all. And then they get like really heated about the most random thing. Like, would you rather have a piece of cake or a piece of pie? And they're like, I would rather have cake. That's a dessert. And it's like, wow.
Wait. Can we also discuss something that happened to me this week that I need someone to talk me through?
Okay. Yes. Step into my office, sit down on my couch.
Okay. Speaking of cake and pie, because I don't know which one this was. Have you ever had, and I don't know if this is a real thing, have you ever had a dump cake?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you put canned fruit at the bottom of a clear glass, whatever, and then you put the cake mix on top with butter on top. You cook it for a half an hour.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It is life-changing.
That's what we
If somebody has not done this, I have gotten to this point in my life having never had it. I'm going to tell you this week, it is a Teach Better requirement that you make a dump cake. And I will walk you through. Here's my suggestion. Canned peaches. Don't put all the syrup in. What's the glass thing called? I don't bake.
A cake pan?
Sure. No, but it's not a pan. It's a glass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cake pan. It's just glass cake pan. I mean, like we call them Pyrex because a lot of time they're Pyrex brand, but like they can be any brand.
I'm sorry, a pan is metal. Are you telling me that the term pan can be used for something that is glass?
I thought so.
There's so many debates. I cannot wait for people to settle in the comments. I have so many questions.
Okay, so cake dish.
Cake dish.
9 by 13.
Yeah, clear, whatever. Yeah. You put the canned peaches in. Don't put all the syrup, but literally like in the bottom. It looks really
Mhm.
messy. Then you take cake mix and you
Did
just,
you use just like yellow cake mix?
I think so.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you just sprinkle it like nothing you do, just sprinkle, sprinkle, and it makes like a gross looking thing.
Hmm.
And then you take a stick of butter and melt it and kind of like
Hmm.
drizzle it on the top. And then you put it in the oven and it comes out as gold.
Yeah. I've done it with like mixed berry
Yes.
or like apples. Yeah, you really the fruit can be interchangeable. It's quite delicious. Hmm.
It it was the best dessert that exists on the planet. It was that.
And Ray, I'm really proud of you because this is something you could make again.
Oh, I want to clarify. I didn't make it. I watched, but I could make it because I knew how to do it. I explained it to all of you, so I feel like I could do it.
Yes, because it's the only steps you've said are the steps. So
And then I suggest like you want it to be like crispy on top, like not
yes.
burned, but like almost burned. Not burned, but like
Yes, I have also seen where instead of melting the butter, you like cut it into like slices and then lay that all over the top.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, the mistake that was made was that we used salted butter and
Oh,
everybody agreed you shouldn't. I actually thought it was delicious. So I go salted butter. I'm just saying, great activity for your kids this week if
yeah.
you're looking for a little dessert. And it only lasted us 2 nights.
Oh,
It,
for sure. Yeah, it is delicious. Like
it was
I'm only making fun of you because it was like this new phenomenon that I thought was going to be much higher. Like, did you know about this thing? And then it was dump cake. So you can understand my level of like, oh, okay, dump cake. But yes, it's absolutely delicious. I strongly recommend. Mhm.
I also want to clarify, I feel like it was the perfect dessert because it doesn't look appetizing, and then
Right.
you eat it and it's God in a cake. So it's amazing.
It's God in a cake. All right.
Okay, I don't know how we got on this topic, so I apologize because I actually had something else on the agenda I forgot about. Can we get to that too? We have
Okay. Yep.
17 minutes of garbage. I'm so sorry for this.
Hey, honestly, we're doing pretty good because sometimes we've spent a solid 35 minutes talking about coffee. So we've covered some big topics: walking in
Well,
gas stations, dump cake, coffee, all the things.
how dare you bring up the coffee outside my door right now? How dare you
Too
bring that
soon.
up? I was
Too soon.
I was moving past it. Okay, last thing is that 12-hour live was released, the full schedule, and I don't know how to say this nicely, but I can't show you all of the schedule, but I like uploaded something that I can't actually let play, but I can let the beginning play. So we'll be right back. Here we go. All right. So I couldn't let the whole clip play because that is saved for 12-hour live, but that is our 12-hour live schedule. And Katie, spoiler alert, you're in charge of planning that event. So nice job on that being released this week.
Thanks. I am super excited about it. We've got some awesome people that are going to be guests, some new faces, some returning faces. But what I really like about how we've kind of structured the day, which is different than our other 12 hours, is that we've really kind of like done it in segments. So we've got sections that really focus on classroom teachers, teachers who are like with students. We've structured sections for administrators. We know that's a need. We work with administrators all the time, but we don't often give them their own kind of space and PD. So there's spots for that. And then there's also some exclusive stuff that we typically only offer when we're like working with schools and like on the road and stuff, the things we talk about. So it is going to be 12 hours just packed. I do like that we're always intentional of like lighter topics mixed in with some heavier topics. So it's not 12 hours of just like heavy PD, but it's going to be a good day. And
I think it's
there's
good
a
that the
bonus.
beginning is tangible takeaways where
Yes.
you can literally implement it in your classroom the next day. And then the afternoon are those ideas that you need to chew on. Like they're not going to be changes that you can make instantaneously, but over time, kind of thinking through it, asking more questions, gathering resources that the team can provide, Like I kind of like that. Like I love those ideas that I want to sleep on for 24 hours and then come back and rethink about.
And like things like the grid method, we're discussing those, but we just did our live series in December with Chad, which was awesome. So we're kind of taking that idea and taking it a step further and even addressing, like, as an administrator, how do you support your teachers who are using the grid method? How do you manage a classroom that has the grid method going on? So there's going to be lots and lots of good segments and a little bonus for people who attend. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's a big deal. I'm excited for that to be released. I don't want to wait till the 25th. That will be big drama. That'll be
I know
good.
here's the thing, Ray. I love our team. I love our team a lot. But we all know a secret and we're expected to hold on to it for 5 more weeks. And
okay. Is it 5 weeks though? Because it's not.
Well, it's the 18th today and it's the 25th of February.
Yes, but we get to release half of the secret a
True.
month from now. So it's actually like we have to hold on to a major secret for like 3 to 4 weeks, and
True.
then half of it gets released, and then the rest of it gets released 2 weeks later.
All I'm saying is I love our team. I just don't have a lot of faith in us to keep that giant secret because it's also a secret we're excited about.
If we were to release this secret, it would be on our Sunday show though. So I would really suggest that everyone go joins our private Facebook group, which is a free Facebook group that is available over at teachbettergroup.com. And what I love about that show is that it streams where all of the comments are in one place. So you all can see each other's comments. Because today we're streaming on like 5 different platforms. So if you're on a platform that somebody else isn't on, you're not seeing each other's comments. So that will be some big gossip. It'll be fun. It'll be good. Mm-hmm. So, Katie, we also have other responsibilities on the show, like a teachable moment, community spotlight, and a morning challenge. We're going to get through all that in the next 10 minutes. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. We are live for our Wednesday Wake Up Morning Show with the Teach Better team. I am already seeing the comments that people are excited for 12-hour live. And as a reminder, while I hope February 25th is already on your calendar and you are using that schedule to plan the entire day that you have of 12 hours of free PD streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn, I also want to remind you that previous 12-hour lives are available in the Teach Better Academy for free. So you can head over to teachbetteracademy.com and actually see all the years of 12-hour, but this year will of course be the best, obviously.
I think we say that every year.
No, but like this year will be the best, it will.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like next year, but like this year I think will be the best for right now.
I agree. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Friends, we are getting into our teachable moment, and this is a time where we do like to at least provide some sort of educational value. Katie, we went through a heated debate on what our topic would be today.
Yep.
Try and provide some moments of reflection. Now, not too crazy because it is Wednesday. We're still persevering through the rest of the week, but maybe some things that we could think about. How do you want to dive into this?
Well, it's kind of like a Tuesday for a lot of people. A lot of people had Monday off for MLK Day, which was nice. So it is halfway through your week. So you can remind yourself that you got an extra bonus day. You only got 2 more days to wake up after this. But, Ray, we have had a lot of conversations, especially in our admin mastermind that meets every Tuesday morning, just about like reflection, not necessarily in your practices, but like posting grades and end of semester stuff. And I just feel like we probably should talk about it because a lot of people just posted their semester grades or they, had midterms or whatever it looks like in your specific school. But that's a big part of teaching is grades.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a virtual professional development later this afternoon focused on grading. So this is very timely. However, I will tell you that I feel like talking about grading is opening a can of worms So I
Yeah.
want to clarify, we are not here to tell you how to grade because everybody has their own teacher philosophy. Everybody's in their own journey navigating
Mhm.
grades. And a lot of us, right or wrong, have district or building requirements that we can't necessarily manipulate. So let's just talk about grading in the sense of being reflective, because then no
Mhm.
matter where you are in your journey of grading, being a little bit better in this area is something that we do have control over.
Yeah.
And I love the ability to align ourselves just a little bit better to where we want to be a year from now, 2 years from now with the concept of grading.
Well, I think, what we were kind of talking about is we can't necessarily like reframe your practices on a Wednesday wake up show. I mean, we know that. But I guess my question is that are the grades you are posting, are they telling the story that you want it to be? And this is such a hard thing to really kind of navigate because we know that there's online systems a lot of schools use. There's a lot of like different structures that you do the online grades and it calculates a final grade, but at the end of the day, is that painting the picture of what you want it to match your students level of success in your classroom? And you and I have had many conversations of whatever students like, well, this is what they're getting in class, but I know they're capable of more, I know they're showing more. And so I just would challenge people as you kind of start this second half of the year, is there something that you should be doing differently so that those grades match what you see in class?
Well, and I like that question because then where you go from there is really open ended.
Yeah.
Because once you identify there's a problem, then it's easier. Once you know what that problem is, it's
Correct.
easier to go seek resources that best apply to your classroom. So I love that moment of it's kind of a yes or no. Does it reflect or not
Yeah.
what you're looking for? And then from there, you can say, is it because of X, Y, and Z? And how can I
Yep.
affect that? Um, I know there's so many different things we can dive in with grading. So if you guys want to post in the comments specific things, I know there's like at least 2 segments for 12 hour that focus on
Mhm.
grading on February 25th.
Yep.
So obviously that could be something you choose to tune into once you maybe identify this as an area that you want to be better in. Um,
Mhm.
but I found that I was constantly tweaking and adjusting my own grading. And I even just yesterday, I was in a school district yesterday where we had some grading conversation. And I love that grading allows teachers to be reflective, do a minor tweak, and then see what data comes of it, and
Yep.
then tweak again. I think that there's some flexibility there that is comforting.
Well, and two, looking at, if you're like, no, it doesn't match, there's a disconnect. Well, then I think then you take a step back even more and say, okay, well, what are the students doing? What are students working on? How am I assessing them? How am I looking at their learning? Because maybe the lens needs to be changed too. If what you are seeing isn't producing the grade that you think it should, then you've got to kind of see, well, what's the pathway to get there?
Right. And an easy piece to start with is, are you grading task completion or
Right.
understanding level? And I think that
Mhm.
that's something that I had to chew on for a long time.
Mhm.
Because as I continued to reflect on my practice, I found that I would go back and forth and I needed to adjust that. But task completion would be a student literally hands you something that has pencil on it,
Yep.
therefore it's done, therefore you're giving them that grade. Mastery or grading for student understanding would be that you truly look at what the student knows, regardless of how much they got correct or incorrect. And you're making an interpretation and evaluation, a
Mhm.
grade based off of the knowledge that they shared with you, not
Yep.
just because they did the worksheet or because they did the homework, but how well and effectively they did the homework. But then, Katie, we could go even deeper and say, well, then you can start evaluating what questions you're actually
That's
giving,
what I was thinking, yeah.
right? Because like that was then the layer that I found most fascinating. That's kind of what hooked me on loving grading, because it wasn't about, oh, I got 8 out of the 10 correct, therefore it's an 80%, but starting
Yep.
to look at which of those questions I got correct. Were
Right.
they more challenging or more simplified than the two I got wrong? And does
Mhm.
that affect us being able to interpret what the student knows? Will you
Mhm.
speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at when you look at assessments, and when I say assessments, I'm literally meaning anything a student is producing. It's not necessarily like a test, but any kind of work a student does. If you look and they miss a big heavy question, and we all know what that means. There's bigger, thicker questions that really have to take a lot of skill and knowledge. If they miss that, but they get all of these lower level questions correct, well, then they really know it? Because I knew how to play the game in school, and I knew that if I got all of the easy questions right, but I missed the essay, who cares? Because I probably was still going to be okay. And so I think it's reframing our mindset of like, what questions matter, what questions really tell us the information we need to know as the teacher.
But then you can go a step farther. This is why I love this conversation, and start looking at the questions you're asking students and adjusting that. Because what I found is that I was giving so many questions that I didn't care about, because
Yeah.
they weren't giving me any data to like
Right.
enhance my students' experience or give them better feedback. Like, they were garbage questions. And when they bring back their quiz, I actually only cared about like 2 questions on there, but I gave them 20. And
Mhm.
so the 2 I cared about were like identifying those common mistakes I know happen because I've taught the content before, and something that I wanted to like specifically align to their what I knew we were getting to. And I was like, why am I asking them 20 questions when I know I only care about these 2? I should
Right.
only be giving them these 2 questions because they're actually giving me the data I need to move forward with my instruction. So there's so many cool layers of this. I love it.
Well, I think you hit kind of a big part of it, which we haven't brought up, is that everything you're doing, everything a student is working on and completing is should be giving you next steps.
Right.
So it should be telling you what do you need to do next. And it should also be telling the student what they need to do. So if they miss a low level question that you don't care about, then it should never have been on there because it's not giving you any information on what to do next. Now, there are times I will say that some of those simpler questions, some of those lower level, they can paint a picture of what the baseline is, and I know you and we both taught math. So there was a lot of those types of questions where you would need to know, like, what do they know now so that I know what I can build on. And that is a little bit different than, but that still tells you what next steps to take.
That's what I mean. Like, it's okay to have a lot of questions on anything that you're collecting data on a
Yeah.
student on. Just make sure they're intentional. So if you
Yeah.
need 20 questions, fine, so be
Right.
it. But make sure that that's not a waste of your time to evaluate and their time to complete if you truly only need the 2. And that's kind of where that reflection comes in. I know
Mhm.
there's so many different parts that we can get into this, and I'm excited to not only continue to have this conversation over the next few weeks, if this is interesting to our network, which you guys can let us know in either private direct messages or commenting here in the live stream, but also dive into this further with 12-hour live and other trainings we provide, because this really is an evolution. And I want everyone to kind of find peace in that,
Yeah.
that we're not asking you to overhaul your grading today. And that might be exciting for you, but also for many people, myself included, is overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think the first step is, Katie, what you should suggest in the beginning, which is just identifying if this is an area that you should be taking on right now, or
Mhm.
something that maybe is going really well and you put it off to the side until the summer when you want to maybe learn more because you're interested in the concept. But evaluating those grades and saying, is this reflective of what the student knows? Not what the student does in class, not the homework completion your students do, but the knowledge that they actually have on the content. And that, I think, is a great first step.
Agreed. Agree.
So, Katie, we have a really quick community spotlight that I'm so excited to share. And then we're going to get into our morning challenge before we wrap up the show. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
We'll be right back. Morning, everyone. We are live for our Wednesday Wake Up Morning Show. Thank you to those of you who are turning in live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn, but also shout out to those listening over on the Teach Better Talk podcast. We love that you tune into the show. If you haven't done so already, you need to head over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Teach Better Team YouTube channel, because there's a lot of content going there constantly, and it's all beautifully organized. Shout out to Rachel from the Teach Better team and Joshua Stamper from the Teach Better team that are making sure our YouTube has pretty playlists. You can get all of this content, including watching previous Wednesday wake ups if that's the route you want to go, or there's like actual good shows on there that are previously streamed that you might enjoy. So something over there. Katie, we have a community spotlight, and I really am excited to share that the community spotlight I want to highlight came to my mailbox yesterday.
Yay!
I'm so excited. Shout out to Suzanne Daly, and she just published her new book from ASCD, which is always great content. It's called Teach Happier This School Year, 40 Weeks of Inspiration and Reflection. And the reason I'm so excited about this book, first of all, Suzanne Daly is like the nicest human on the planet. She just even seeing her fills me up with like energy and happiness.
Yes.
But also she had a Teach Happier blog series on the Teach Better blog for years that really helped foster this beautiful book coming out. And I'm so excited that she took this journey that selfishly I just loved being able to witness.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the book's here from an incredible publisher. And talk about timely for us to talk about teaching happier this school year. I'm so excited for just the inspiration, the reflection. This is a book that not only has like tidbits that you obviously can enjoy and read, but also sections that then allow you to be reflective on your own practices and like write in your answers. So it's kind of a mix between a book that you're going to take like tangible takeaways from and also a workbook. And it's set up that way throughout the entire book. Like there's places to write down, there's challenges. I love that there are like, I know this is silly, but I love pictures. So there's like quotes and pretty pages. I don't know. There's Teach Happier lesson plans that have clearly aligned objectives and then like procedures on how to do them. I don't know. I'm just so impressed with not only the book's layout, but seeing Suzanne's journey. I'm so happy for you, Suzanne. Congratulations. It's so fun.
Yes, I had the opportunity to meet her at the conference, which a lot of us did. And she 100% radiates just that positivity, that happiness. Like you could just see it, you know, she just like every time I saw her, she had a smile on her face or she was laughing. And so totally love her, excited for her. I might know a few things about the giveaway at the 12 hour that involved that book. So
we didn't even talk about the giveaways at 12 hour. I feel like it's being overshadowed by the cool themes we're doing. Like,
okay, which is so funny because literally that's all I worked on all day yesterday, because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. So I'm just going to maybe spoil everything, but
let's not.
There are 100 billion trillion giveaways and they're all amazing.
Okay, so you're saying that I get 12 hours of free professional development streamed on social media. I don't have to register because it's going to be accessible forever, but also accessible live on any platform I want, including YouTube. And I get to win 300 trillion prizes.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So really, what more do you need? You should be putting it in your calendar right now, February 25th.
So you could put it up like on your smart TV, be in your PJs and drink coffees, mimosas, and martinis the whole day and just enjoy the fun.
Maybe a glass of water in between some of those, but yeah.
And a dump cake.
And then you can make a dump cake.
I love it. I love it.
I agree.
So good. Well, Suzanne, I love you dearly. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for being a part of our Teach Better family. Suzanne was actually the first themed blogger we ever had on the site with her Teach Happier blog. And then obviously we have now like over 18 different series that get published every month. So thank you for starting that beautiful trend on our website. And I'm so excited for everyone to go pick up your book. You can grab this on ASCD's website, but I would just go to Amazon, to be honest. And make sure to reach out to her and tell her congratulations, because it's a big accomplishment to have a book come out, especially from ASCD, especially with this much incredible value. So we'll be right back for our morning challenge. everyone. Welcome back to the Wednesday Wake Up. My mom's texting me. So, hi, Mom.
Julie, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. She wants to know why I changed my office. If you're watching us live, or even if you're catching this recording after the fact, she doesn't like that I have a white background and not a green background today. So, sorry, Mom. I'll see you Friday, though. Love you.
Was she the one that asked if you were bringing a dump cake to dinner on Friday?
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, I am having dinner. Okay. We have not talked about this, Katie Miglin. Do you know who's in town on Friday?
Your sister?
Yes, Dana and Mike are coming in town on Friday, so we're all getting together for dinner. I'm like geeking out because my sister like refuses to live anywhere convenient for us to see her, and she's coming in town.
That's awesome. And now you can bring a dump cake.
I don't know that I can expose my family to the dump cake because I think they'll love it too much, and that I'll ruin all fancy desserts for them forever.
That's true. Maybe come up with a different name and act like it's a delicacy.
Oh, that should have been what we asked our network. Now we're at the end of the show, but we should have asked them what we should rename the dump cake.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think about that because dump cake just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Okay, the other question I have, and I'm so sorry I'm asking this, but is it technically a pie? What's the difference because you're using cake mix? Is it not a pie?
Yeah.
But it is a pie because it has just bread and fruit.
But can't cake have that too?
I don't think cake, I was gonna say I don't think cake can have fruit, but obviously it can.
I mean, here's the things that the reason that it is not a pie is you use cake mix, which seems like kind of a dead giveaway. It's also a rectangle slash, I mean, it can also be a square, but it's.
But you can make it a circle. Why not? You could put it in a cake tin. Couldn't you? I meant a pie tin.
Okay, on that note.
Wait, really? I think somebody should settle this debate. Okay.
A pie isn't the right size. A 9x13 cake pan is not the same as a pie.
Oh my gosh. I now know what you're saying, but that's not what we made it in.
What'd you make it in?
It was like a small square.
Oh, yeah, like a 9x9 or something.
You're saying a lot of words right now.
I know. I forget you don't really like cook. Like you don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
I don't, but what I'm saying is like it could have easily been a circle. So like it wasn't a big long rectangle. It was like this like itty bitty beautiful thing of deliciousness.
Okay.
So back to our morning challenge, friends. First things first, pie or cake. Second thing second, we need a new name for dump cake. And the third thing is our morning challenge, which Katie, I feel like you mentioned earlier, and I just want to make sure we reiterate about the reflecting on grades. Do you mind challenging us one more time?
Yeah, I would say look at, the grades that you posted from first semester, first half of the year. If you didn't post them, whatever it looks like, look at your grades and kind of look at the students in your class and maybe take these next few days to just kind of look at the faces of what you have in class and see, do you feel that those grades match the students that sit in your seats every day? And, hopefully it's something you've already reflected on, but if there were moments, especially as you were, pressing post or you were sending those report cards home, if there were moments where you're like, oh, I just don't know, then maybe take a step back and kind of reflect on what are you giving them? What are they working on? And, what's that journey look like? And is there some moments of maybe that need to be tweaked so that the grades really match the cute little faces that you see in your classrooms?
I love it. And then the fourth challenge we have for you, because, why not start the day ambitious since one of them is educational and the rest of these three are just goofing off.
Right.
On Facebook, how you can do like the thumbs up, the heart, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a good show because so far on this show, we've had the laughing one, the crying one, the heart, and the like. So my last challenge would be if you enjoyed this show, I suggest you take this link and send it to somebody who might also enjoy it, whether it be because we were funny or sad or loving or because you liked the content we shared. So,
but you don't need to tell us the reason you're sharing it. We're just going to assume it's because we're funny.
Yeah, I have to go clean up coffee, so I have to go, but it's all over my wall.
Because I shoved you. I apologize for virtually shoving you.
It was intense, but we love you all. We hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for being here live with us. If you catch this recording after, we appreciate you watching this after the fact, and thank you for all that you do. We'll see you on Sunday and then next week for our Wednesday Wake Up. Bye, friends. Woo-hoo.